Good evening, students, staff, families, friends, and loved ones. I would like to start this evening by acknowledging that this event is taking place on the ancestral lands and traditional territories of the Puget Sound Coast Salish peoples. Peoples that are still here, continuing to honor and bring light and energy to their connection to the lands, waters, and culture. We would like to share our respect and acknowledge the Puget Sound Coast Salish peoples, past and present, on whose lands we gather today. Thank you. Please be seated. Welcome, Ballard High School, class of 2024, to your graduation. First, I would like to thank all of the families, friends, and loved ones who are here tonight. Your constant support throughout the years has not gone unnoticed, and we appreciate all of you. To all of the staff who supported us to get to where we are today, teaching us skills to excel both in and outside the classroom, thank you for being here with us to celebrate our accomplishments. My name is Taya Fletcher. I am your ASB Vice President, and it is an honor to be hosting tonight alongside Lyndon Fatland. I've spent a lot of time in front of this crowd, from my first speech running for ASB to our last PEP assembly. And now, I am honored to stand in front of you one last time. To officially start the ceremony, I have the honor of introducing Ballard High School's principal, Abby Hunt. Thank you.
Dear Ballard High School class of 2024, yes, we are here, and I am so happy for you. As we begin our ceremony, I want to extend a special welcome to our families, friends, Ballard staff, Seattle Public Schools dignitaries, and thank you all for being here with us for this incredibly special occasion. I also want to honor in this space those from our lives who are not able to physically join us, yet who played a role in leading us to this moment. Graduates, we are here to recognize and celebrate your past 4 years at Ballard High School. And with this, we are also celebrating the past 18, more or less, years of your lives. And as we come together to honor the incredible accomplishments of your years, it cannot be overlooked that your class has experienced and overcome historic hurdles. From navigating COVID and remote learning to facing situations that warranted your demand for necessary and long overdue social dialogue around race, equity, and social justice. You have demonstrated a consistent stance as learners and leaders. And despite the pains that came with these challenges, you have come out stronger because of it. And you have made Ballard an even better community. Thank you. So please, as you venture off this stage this evening and later turn your tassels, remember to always embrace the personal and collective traits that have brought you here today. Learning is lifelong, and you are all leaders in your own way, and you're each a vital part of the Ballard High School community. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. Good evening, everyone. My name is Lyndon Fatland, and it is an absolute honor to stand before you here today. Now, without any further ado, please stand or respectfully observe our national anthem performed by an extremely talented group, Ballard High School's Vocal Jazz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
vocal jazz, I would now like to introduce even more musical talent from our Ballard community. Here is the Ballard High School Wind Ensemble playing Arabesque by Samuel Hazo, conducted by Director of Bands Jay Gillespie.
limit our fear of being accidentally unmuted when our teachers were talking and being begged to turn on our cameras, we arrived at our sophomore year. No longer the youngest and finally allowed in school, we began to thrive. We gathered in times of community strain to create healthy change. We had all of our firsts. We were like children, taking their steps into what we now know as high school. Our first homecoming week, with infinite excitement for the first time, we got to show our Ballard pride. Our first true encounter with the difficulties of high school classes. Our first time having to take a final and worrying about failing it. Our first time going to a football game on a crisp October Friday night. Our first time getting to experience the surreal transportation that occurs with hearing the melodic songs of our performing arts. Our first time getting to be with each other. To be with each other is to learn about each other and create relationships that will outlive our time here. To learn the ins and outs of what's cool and what's not, and to create an identity that we will grow into as we move on to the next chapter of our lives. To learn what it feels like to be ghosted by someone you thought cared, and to create a new connection that far surpasses the first. To learn how far kindness can go, and to create meaning within each other's lives. Together, we are Ballard Beavers. Together, we are great. Together, it's always great to be a Beaver. Some of you here today may know that I have grown up at Ballard High School, just as we all have for the past 4 years, but even more so. But for those who don't know, Ballard has always been my home, my dam. I'm going to be a 4th generation graduate here at Ballard High School. 3 generations have walked our halls before me. This is my family, and before I hit high school, this was my family at Ballard High School. But family can be found. Family is not always bound by blood. The moment I logged onto that first Teams call and I saw just a few brave faces willing to turn on their cameras, I knew that you all were going to become my found family at Ballard for the 4 years that awaited us. Beavers have a sweet exterior covered in soft brown fur and cute brown beady eyes. When they shine their 2 large teeth, it's almost as if they're smiling. Every day walking down the halls, I have been able to count on a fellow Beaver to smile. On the worst days that I know all of us have had, where we can barely make it to lunch and refuse to look up when going between classes, I have always found a smile in the crowd. One smile, one moment, can be pivotal in anyone's day. But for me, it has been pivotal in my life. Families cheer each other up when they're feeling down. And all of us have been doing that for one another every single day we've had together. When we all go off on our own ways, just remember, AG2BB, it's always great to be a Beaver.
Thank you, Addie. For another amazing performance, I would now like to introduce the concert choir and advanced chorale directed by Miss Courtney Rowley, who will perform Bridge Over Troubled Water by Paul Simon, arranged by Kirby Shaw.
I'll be your bridge or troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge or troubled water. I will lay
Thank you so much, choir, for that incredible performance. The next speaker we have today was chosen by your senior class representatives. He is the staff that we believed would best encapsulate the senior class's spirit. He is Ballard's business education teacher, the leader of the Academy of Finance, the one, the only, Eric Blazovic.
Thank you, Lyndon. Staff, family, friends of the class of 2024, I am Mr. Blazovic, or Mr. B or Blasey, depending on the level of familiarity your students have and their confidence in their grade. Students, as I always have a story, but this is not my story. It is your story, at least a chapter in what I hope will become a long and epic tale. Sometime in the pre-COVID past, a student had asked me to speak at her graduation, and my knee-jerk reaction was to recoil in terror and say no, as I like to keep my cloak of anonymity wrapped tightly around me. However, I regretted it almost from the instant that I said no, because it really is an honor to be asked. And since then, I have thought off and on about what I would say given the chance again. And my first brilliant opening line that I came up with was, "The world owes you nothing." Now, that's a bit of a downer. And what I really mean to say was, you owe the world more. Better, but why do you owe the world more? You really have been through a lot. Disrupted lives, isolations, and lost opportunities, yet you are still the lucky ones. Because fate dropped you here. And you have the advantages and opportunities undreamed of by the hundreds of generations that shoulders you stand on, and hundreds of millions of others today who can only dream of them. Never forget that. So being here is a gift, and that gift comes with a burden. Your job, your duty is to strive to make the world a better place through everything that you do. This does not mean going out there and doing some AP-worthy deed, although it would be kind of cool to be required reading in Miss Faust's class. It means living your life well. First, you must make the world as good for you, for yourself, as you can. I teach finance, but amassing of wealth and power is not what I'm talking about. Your success must be defined by you. It means finding your best self. It means making good decisions, pushing yourself, making your brain sweat, being fearless but not reckless, and daring to try new things. Take care of the business, whether it be financial, health, education, your career, and most importantly, your relationships. Learn to use and control the things that you can. And this is vital, because you're going to need to be in a strong place when fate delivers the rough parts, and deliver it at will. Unemployment, tragedy, illness, civil strife, negativity, disease. Well, you already dealt with disease, so we're just going to check that box off. But most importantly, you need to be able and ready to lend your strength to aid, support, and encourage others, because a day will come when you're going to need someone else's strength to lean on. So once you're on this firm ground, you can start on the world. Sorry you aren't inheriting a utopia. Alas, no generation has, and seemingly it is our fate to toil, struggle, repair, improve, to build and rebuild. So how do you do this? Well, it's just being a little better over a long time. It's like saving and investing. Little, even 1% put aside, will grow over time and double and redouble. Imagine if each one of you goes out there and tries to do just 1% better than us in all of your endeavors, the mighty wave of change that will ensue. If you are fortunate enough to have a great, loving role model for relationships, build on that. Love better and live better. In your job, do it better, do it more efficiently. Be optimistic when the loudest voices are cynics, charlatans, and naysayers who are driven by anger and outrage. Ignore them. Those emotions cannot sustain the energy needed to affect real change in this world, and they simply have no legs. Instead, strive to be a better friend, employee, boss, leader, advisor, mentor than the person before you. This is the secret on how we, our communities, our world improves from generation to next. I'm going to paraphrase this from a movie, but above all, believe. Believe in you. Believe in the things that can't be proven and seen. Honor, love, truth, virtue. That good will always ultimately win. That people are good at heart and should be given a chance. These are things that have legs and will carry us through and you through any crisis, any challenge, ultimately making the world better. It always has and it always will. If you keep believing in things worth believing, then our best days, and I truly believe this, our best days, our best selves are in the future. And here is the most important thing. I believe in you. I have faith in you. I have great faith in your skills, your passions, and your strengths and determination. I have watched you grow from a bunch of little circles with initials in them. Damn it. There we go. All right, there I go. To admirable and amazing young men and women, and awe and humble me. Not that you didn't drive me just a little nuts with these things, but I feel your class in particular is poised for greatness. Call it a pent-up energy or a chafing at the bit. In a way, I feel you were cheated. Not just that COVID erupted during your early teens, which wasn't fair, but sadly, life isn't fair is all too true, but how we framed the situation. It was your generational challenge to take on, but instead of letting you step into it, we wanted to shelter and protect. And understandable, perhaps, but unfortunate. We should have said when this all went down that this is gonna be hard and we don't know how hard. So now the burden of your education rests on you. And you're going to have to truly own your education in a way that no class ever has, and that our plans can only go so far, so you students are gonna have to stretch yourselves. And I think you would have. Ultimately, I think we expected too little of you and we didn't let you show what you were made of. That's on us. Now it is on you to show your mettle, what your class is made of, what you will achieve. I know it will be much because I have learned that you are stronger, tougher, and more capable than we gave you credit for, and that you yourselves might not realize. Though delayed, your chance to shine, your next chapter starts now, or at least after spring. And lastly, a personal note from me. I have always found honor, meaning, and satisfaction through work, and I hope you do too. Starting when I poured steel in college through selling shirts and ties at Nordy's, I always found pride in my work, but I never experienced gratification, true gratification, till I became a teacher, and to that I owe you. And as my career ebbs, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a small part in this chapter of your book. Thank you so much for making my job fun. And so now, class of 2024, the pages are blank, your pencils are sharp, and it's time for you to go out and write the next chapter in all of our story. I cannot wait to read it. Take your energy, your passions and strength, and go out there and crush it. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you for your wise words throughout the years in the classroom and tonight on this stage, Mr. Blazovic. Next, I would like to introduce one of our soon-to-be graduates, Izzy Rampersad, who will be performing Our Time from the musical Merrily We Roll Along.
Something is stirring, shifting ground. It's just begun. Edges are blurring all around, and yesterday is done. Feel the flow, hear what's happening, we're what's happening. Don't you know we're the movers and we're the shapers? We're the names in tomorrow's papers. Up to us now to show 'em. It's our time, breathe it in. Worlds to change and worlds to win. Our turn coming through. Me and you, oh, me and you. Feel how it quivers on the brink. Everything gives you the shivers, makes you think. There's so much stuff to sing. Feel the flow, hear what's happening, we're what's happening. Long ago, all we had was that funny feeling, singing someday we'd send 'em reeling. Now it looks like we can. It's our time, breathe it in. Worlds to change and worlds to win. Our turn, we're what's new. Me and you, oh, me and you. Years from now, we'll remember and we'll come back by the rooftop and hang a plaque. This is where we began, being what we can. It's our hands on the block. Give us room and start the clock. Our dreams coming true. Me and you, oh, me and you. Me and you. Me and you. Me and you. Me and you.
Whew. Thank you, Izzy. That was so beautiful, making all of us tear up here. As we approach the end of this graduation ceremony, it feels bittersweet. We have prayed for this moment's quick arrival, counted down days, weeks, and minutes. But now that it's finally here, I'm sorry that it is, because this means having to leave behind the family I found here at Ballard. I now want to share some wisdom from the wisest man in my life, my father. He always said that you can lose everything. You can lose your money, your house, your clothes, friends, and family, but the one thing that can never be taken from you is your knowledge. I hope throughout these next chapters of your life, you continue to seek out that which will be with you forever. I can confidently say I am leaving Ballard richer in knowledge because of all of you. Ms. Hunt, we're ready to graduate.
All right. School Board Director Clark, it is my privilege to present to you the Ballard High School class of 2024, who, having met the graduation requirements of Seattle Public Schools in the state of Washington, are prepared to graduate today.
Principal Hunt, on behalf of the Seattle Public Schools Board and the citizens of Seattle that we represent, I hereby accept the Ballard High School class of 2024. Congratulations.
Taya Ann Iokea Fletcher.
Addison Cross Winecoop.
Izzy Anjali Rampersad.
Bridget Grace Donnelly.
Reese Alexis Eola Carlisle.
Chase Robert Edwards.
Peyton Michelle Nakagawara.
Bob Parsons.
Natalie Marie Bauer.
Lyndon Delia Denise Fatland.
Ella Frances Rogers.
Kian Henry Talele Viana.
Nirvan Tamang Lamley.
Mirabelle Peterson.
Tyvon A. Albert.
Gemma Catherine Aiello.
Julia Alvarez.
Kira Leilani Anderson.
Mordecai Alward. Jasmine G. Azam.
Jacob Alderet.
Rigel Ballier. Okay.
Nina K. Aziz.
Rosie Barba.
Wilco Ballstadt.
Chloe J. Bargfried.
Isabel Rose Baroff.
Kian Joseph Avery Ebert Barnes.
Matilda Tara Barber.
Lily Marie Beckerman.
Drake Bayless.
Felipe de Jesus Benitez Rivera.
Ladette Semine.
Luke Berard.
Nicole Lee Benefiel.
Zelly R. Berg.
Jacqueline Patricia Rose Benson.
Kyan J. Bester.
Luke Bergeron.
A.B.
Alex Bernardo.
Mariana E. Blanco.
Lydia Jane Blair.
Kai Bryant.
Troy Lyle Boda.
Zoe Boone.
Jackson Montgomery Bohr.
Max Boone.
Ryan Frederick Bohannon.
Joey Bunick. Margot S. Bradbury.
John Henry Desmond Boxwell.
Callie Lee Bradshaw.
Cameron Jason Burns.
Lucas J. Bright.
Rowan S. Busam.
Charlie J. Brodus.
Flora Elizabeth Bradley.
Gianna Buzel.
Emmett Bershears.
Jackson L. Carver.
Alex Bullock.
Phoebe T. Sepok.
Fabian Bouchot.
Adele D. Shane.
Ariana Cadillo.
Micah Charlton.
Rose K. Champion.
Benaya Shoshana Cohen.
Mia L. Chang.
Evelyn A. Como.
Maisie Clunies Ross.
Marley Corin.
Warren Connor.
Dexter J. Zark.
Mia Lee Koldam.
Nova B. Davis.
Isis Magnolia Coda.
Alex Dawson.
Sydney Allison Bulacan Craig.
Jules F. DeVader.
Harvey Sark.
Tom J. Delaney.
Dylan D'Amelio.
Gabriella A. Denke.
Margaret C. Dawson.
Terrence K. Deagle.
Ella J. Delaney.
Ava I. Dodge.
Luca Paul Denez.
Hyde K. Ducote.
Chloe Margot Dupansera.
Kate Dutton.
Caroline Dirks.
Thorin Egerdahl.
Solomon Dowling.
Kate E. Eichhoff.
Charles John Dunn.
Nathan Y. Erb.
Isaac N. Earl.
Michael C. Escarez Jr.
Piers Edmonds Banfield.
Dale Estee.
Chloe Erickson.
Joe Farley.
Madison James Eastman.
Caleb D'Angelo Flores.
Faith Danielle De Lusong Istioco.
Maisie C. Finn.
Stone Fairchild.
Esme H. Ford.
Ava Fesco.
Miley K. Frankel.
Zoe Jane Feely Wheeler.
Cole R. Freck.
Lucy Catherine Folger.
Amara N. Fonts.
Elizabeth Jane Frank.
Lime T. Gallegos.
Riley Owen Fredericks.
Andrew James Gebhardt.
Jonathan Lewis Fries.
Nor Goldberg.
London Ellis Fulford.
Elijah B. Graham.
Carter Roger Garrison.
Franny J. Green.
Coulter B. Good.
Zach Goosey.
Evan Jin Gray.
TJ Gundram.
Keon Andrew Graham.
Lola Grace Adelaide Halverson.
Reed Grayson Grove.
Remy Nicholas Milton Hammond.
Quentin Gigas Marine.
Eva Hans.
Semi Hagos.
Miles Henry Harrison.
Naomi Ray Hammer.
Eden R. Hawkins.
Lucille Elliott Harris.
Nathan Andreas Hinkle.
Kai Haslam.
Kate N. Herndon.
Dominic Hayes.
Chase O. Herman.
Carter Peyton Hainsworth.
John R. Hodge.
Adriana Jade Heacock.
Iris Persephone Hook.
Amelia Jane Higgins.
Lydia K. Hornick.
Jesse T. Hill.
Calais John Lanot Howell.
Sally J. Holloman.
McCall Anderson Hunter.
Phoebe McMenamin Howe.
Abdel Fattah Mahmoud A. Ibrahim.
Lily Jane Huber.
Mason James Jameer.
Annika Hewlett.
Jackson P. Job.
Colin A. Irish.
Brig W. Johnson.
Elliot Jansen.
Cece Jones.
Alexander R. Johnson.
Landon C. Kelly.
Phelan Lynx Joasis.
Rose M. Kabilstis.
Kenny L. Johnson.
Madeline Hope Koenig.
Ishan Cameron.
Catalina J. Kim.
Daniel B. Kensler.
Vincente Nicholas Kitzsteiner.
Sadie Claire Kibblestiffs.
Harrison Kuckelberg.
Naomi Kildo.
Karina Helene Custer.
Shia Knox.
Maya Grace Chrisman.
Christine Krusner.
Alexandra H. Lee.
Julian Kroiwa.
Giselle Anahi Lee.
Ella Lai.
Gavin T. Lehman.
Charles Lanchols.
Finn Gabriel Lepper.
Kun Lee.
Gavin E. Licka.
Sienna K. Lee.
Finn N. Long.
Justine Lee.
Liam H. Lowy.
Finn Andrew Lease.
Felix W. Mako.
Amelia Catherine Min Locke.
Sydney Geraldine Marion.
Giovanna Lopes.
Camelia Anais Martinez.
Christian Mackey.
Mia Abigail Mayachar.
Natalie Marin.
Eli McCracken.
Elkie Moon Martin.
Lauren E. McDonough.
Jaden Massini.
Quinley E. Mercer.
CJ McAllister.
Willow E. Mesrobian.
Thomas McGarty.
McKenna May Meyer. Trinity Isabella Miller.
Chris Kayla Parsons McGregor.
Isnino Muhammad.
Charles W. Merrill.
Ronan Michael Mooney.
Linnea Karen Michaels.
Simone Moreno.
Ellison Reese Malesi.
Vivian Paulini Rakadanga.
Sorry.
Owen Ichizo Manami.
Toby Nagata.
Rory Owen Monahan.
Catherine Nash.
Andrew Moore.
Sophia Angeline Nash.
Max Moses.
Colin P. Newton.
Sincere Lee Norris.
Anastasia Nikolic.
Rashab Nagarkar.
Rylan Olivia Obermeyer.
Christopher Navarro.
Connor M. Osborne.
Ella Corinne Nichols.
Emily Marie Opdahl.
Sam Nocera.
John F. O'Neill.
Boaz Ohiso.
Serafina Kalea Umjimium.
Chloe Pearl Olson.
Julia Marguerite Palmer.
Annika Birgitta Oswald.
Quentin Paulo.
Ross M. O'Mara.
Holden Frederick Pantaleaf.
Adia Pigirigan.
Naomi M. Pearson.
Nicholas Hiller Duncan Palmer.
Henry Robert Perkins.
David Joseph Bacharach Palmieri.
Carlos R. Perpetua Valdez.
Zoe K. Papadakis.
William M. Peters.
Ellie A. Parker.
Miller R. Piercy.
Owen Richard Penfold.
Emery A. Pollock.
Cece Francesca Perino.
Darius C. Popescu.
Violet Irene Peterson.
Mia Jolie Pulau Flegel.
Finnegan Peterson.
Bailey E. Rainville.
Logan Michael Plesko.
Lachlan W. Rancier.
Serena Grace Pook.
Mason Francis Rapisarda.
Danny Edward Potharst.
Etienne Redpath.
Ryan Pygott.
Taylor B. Richardson.
Louisa Claire Ramstad.
Mei Lee Chow Riddle.
Sydney Johanna Rediger.
Kareem Jihad Urify.
Hadley Elena Redman.
Max M. Rodak.
Randy A. Reed.
Jack G. Rollins. Rue Gamer.
Ethan
Rugamer.
Lawrence Ryder.
Carson R. Rugamer.
Jackson Clark Ryder.
Thomas Weston Reese.
Giovanni Rodriguez.
Benjamin Allen Sanchez Romans.
Emmy Francis Rousseau.
Amalia Sol Sanchez Aguirre.
Stella May Rose Rubel.
Carmen Elena Sarabia DeChico.
Evan Sadler.
Fiona Catherine Scott.
Lucas Salm Rojo.
Josie L. Self.
Dariana Sanchez Palmera.
Anna Margaret Simpson.
Olivia Siri Scher.
Madeline Jane Skinner.
Bentavious Schlip Page.
Mira Slotkin.
Elsa Semrock.
Anya Yolanda Souza Ponce.
Finnegan Shane.
Ava Starr.
Kieran Shannon.
Dexter S. Stevens.
Ewan Shaw.
Kai H. Stinnett.
Henry Sipos.
Gabby Soderberg Heater.
Joshua Scove.
Stella L. Studebaker.
Jaden Soja.
Isaac A. Sinisfet.
Thomas M. D. Stacy.
Ryden Toffjord.
Marcos V. Stoudenrouse.
Blaine K. Talbot.
Kateri Grace Steinbrickner.
Christian Tamungdong.
Natalie G. Stanley.
Carmela Rose Taronas.
Keith Kamick Stout.
Johannes Thiessen.
Sydney L. Stumpf.
Elena R. Thompson.
Sean Harayama Tablazon.
Roan Tierney.
Tegan Emmy Takahashi.
Samuel Huntington Tinker.
Serai Tamayo Alejandre.
Lana Shandon Towers.
Ellis Charles Terrell.
Olivia K. Tyler.
Noah Wayne Thomas.
Henry C. Tweed.
Claire Sunny Thompson.
Adam Lewis Underhill.
Nico Thomas Tingliff.
Zara May Van Bronckhorst.
Olivia Ann Tosh.
Charlotte Ann Van Cly.
Adam Robert Tripp.
Finn Walter Vickers.
Isabella Amber Tumova.
K.B. Vincent.
Jonah Eulenberg.
Liliana K. Wald.
Jacob Usner.
Logan D. Wardlaw.
Casper Chell Vogsland.
Polaris A. Weshi.
Kaya Mikiko Vandenberg.
Oliver J. Wheeler.
Emma Van Stanis.
Daniel Stanley White.
Hayden Wagger.
Emma N. Weems.
Ryder Waltmeyer.
Jacqueline Q. Williams.
Asher Watson.
Marley E. Williams.
Haley Weber.
Ella P. Wilson.
Evan M. Whetstone.
Claudia E. Jovanovic.
Spencer John White.
Alina Zahn.
Liliana Williams. Nathan Y. Williams. Troy F. Williams. Ern Caillou. Amelia Wignall. Griffin Zapata.
Oh wait, I need my phone. Let's start. Can you flip that? Yep. Sophie.
Hello, now Ballard graduates. Before we throw our caps, here's some quick reminders about exits. You will stay in your seats until ushers direct you to leave. Don't follow the staff. You will be directed to leave by the ushers. Follow their directions to the northwest end zone and through the staff tunnel. Then meet your family and friends at the big fountain in Seattle Center. Before we flip our tassels, we would like you all to put on your best smile so we can take a full class selfie.
Okay. Do you want me to take it?
Yeah, you take it.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
I think that was fine. All right. All right, Ballard High School, class of 2024, join us and flip your tassel from right to left. Woo! 4 years later, we have made it, and now,
Congratulations, Ballard